Well, folks, we got our CPI data today, and the market did not disappoint. It gave us one of the most just bizarre price action days I've seen in a hot minute. Um, so CPI data came out. You saw my last video. It's bad. Yada yada yada. I was expecting a bounce. I wasn't just banking on SPY going straight down. As you can see on that hourly, look at that. Right on the hourly, it's right at oversold on the RSI. It bounces hard. So it got a hard bounce. I was not expecting that hard of a bounce. But everyone and their mother had puts overnight. Literally everyone I saw on Twitter, on StockTwits. I mean, everyone had puts. So if you were smart like I am like I was this morning, you took your profit on your puts because you know this market is just insane. You can get some ridiculous shit like this going on. So we took profits on the puts. That put I swang overnight. I ended up selling for a $239 profit. So that was nice. I'm still holding on to the NASDAQ puts. I actually averaged down and grabbed another one today because I think the market is already priced in very bad inflation. At this point, it's already embedded into the price of everything. SPY's down like 20%, so that's all baked in. What it hasn't priced in is potentially how bad the earnings are going to be, and we just have to wait and see for that. So first thing tomorrow, we're going to see JP Morgan's earnings and um, also Taiwan Semiconductor. Yes, that's going to be tomorrow as well. So two huge earnings. I mean, just monstrous earnings. I'm pretty sure TSM is tomorrow morning. Yep, before market tomorrow. So just monster, huge, crazy earnings. TSM is top dog in the semiconductor manufacturing industry, and they kind of just give you the general outlook on semiconductors, the demand. Everyone knows the demand, but just how much money they're making, if they're losing money, yada yada yada, supply chain issues in the space. TSN gives you the whole rundown on that, so that's going to be huge. I expect them to have fantastic earnings. I mean, they're just a ridiculously high demand. Like the demand for semiconductors has not gone down remotely. Maybe amongst consumers, but not amongst. I mean, it's just crazy. So they're gonna have fine earnings. I'm worried about J.P. Morgan. Banks have just they've been having rough earnings. I mean, they've just been having a rough go of things, to be honest. Their last earnings call was terrible. They missed and gapped down pretty hard off of that. But it's not so much like just, oh no, one bank had bad earnings. It's more so like, oh, when banks start to have bad earnings, it shows you everything about the economy, all about the consumer spending, all that shit. So that's to be seen how that affects the market. If they have fantastic earnings or if they give us really bad news about like credit defaulting, people defaulting on credit cards, shit like that. Like that's scary stuff. That's people you don't want to see that shit. So anyways, my other trades for today. First things first. We took a SPY call because, at least I think I did. That was my next trade. No. Amazon. Don't get a little ahead of myself here. So Amazon, I mean, just completely dumped off of open. Just a huge wick down. Just went straight down. Monster gap fill. Just filled the gap immediately. Bounced off the gap fill. Found support at this. Look at that. I mean, this. I should have. Now that I look at it, it's so like obvious that this was a huge monster setup because it bounced right off this key fib level, just right off of it perfectly. Look at that. 107.90 was the low on that candle. It literally bounced off that perfectly to the cent. That would have been a huge call buy right there, but I ended up, of course, buying a put because I saw this choppy, so I thought, hey, it went to fill the gap and now it's going to dump. So I grabbed a put. I was in and out of this thing in about like a few minutes. I mean, this was a fast mover. I grabbed a this week contract. I was in for a minute. We basically instantly lost $37 on it. So I wasn't too upset about that. It's whatever. I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a good setup. And I mean, it kind of would have been if this level failed, but the market overall was just everyone was so short in this, and when you get this oversold, I mean this is oversold. Everything's oversold right now, so you're gonna get the bounces and the short covering, short squeezing, whatever you call it, because they're waiting for earnings now. They're not. They're everyone knows about inflation. Inflation just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's nothing new to the markets. The news to the markets are going to be if big companies start having bad earnings, which I'm not sure if they will or not. So that's why. And then you just see this pure indecision. Like, look at that. Amazon just rips up and just bounces in this channel for the entire rest of the day. Just like nothing. Everyone just like, all right, we saw inflation, now what? It's just crazy. You get these crazy moves, and then and we're done. And Amazon just doesn't do anything after that. So, next trade after that, I ended up grabbing a SPY call because it became apparent that we were just going to squeeze. So, SPY comes down, tests this level, it bounces hard off 375. Big key level 375. We get a hard bounce off 375, just straight up. SPY just goes straight up. I caught this whole move. That was awesome. Let's see, where did I grab that? At 7:32 and sold it 20 minutes later. So yeah, we bought in right in this candle and just this move straight up. 7:35. I sold it right around here. So I didn't get the whole move. It would have gotten a lot more today, but hey, I was like, I don't even think the market should be going up right now, and it's just gap fill. So I just took my profit, a nice easy $81 off of that. Zero stress trade. I was thrilled with it. I wish I grabbed a couple more, and then I could have left some runners. I need to start doing that. I really need to start doing that. I keep just buying one, but anyways, so plus 81 on that. Next one was Amazon, right? Yes. So then I grab another one on Amazon. I grab a put on Amazon. We got a rising wedge right here. We come up, break it, big red candle, and then just straight back up, and then big red, and then straight back up. So this was just nauseating. I saw this like ridiculous. We got a huge red candle, then just bought straight. So I'm just like, this isn't happening. I got out. The trade just immediately went sour and it was a terrible taste in my mouth. Sour taste. I said, no, I don't need to ruin my whole day on this. I grabbed two of these. I was pretty aggressive. I thought Amazon should have gone down today. I didn't think it should be green. Doesn't matter what I think though. So I just like the setup too. It was a nice setup and on Amazon. So I was like, hey, looks like it wants to go down. I took a put. Didn't work out. We sold that and lost 24 bucks, so literally nothing. Couldn't care less. I know there's that up, but it wasn't anything to cry about. So next up, we got a SPY put. SPY did like what is happening here on SPY? Look what SPY did today. Like what the hell is even this? Look at this huge red candle. In 5 minutes, SPY goes from 380 straight down to 378.50. Basically a $2 move in one 5-minute candle, and then just straight back up. Literally just go straight back up. Look at the buying volume, like big buying volume. Straight back up, straight back up. Oh, look at that, head and shoulders, and then it dumps at the end of the day. So SPY could not make up its mind. It's just so much indecision. So I wouldn't even say like this was a rally today. This was like literally we just filled the gap. And then it kind of just like, yep, we don't know. I mean, market makers are just they're gonna do whatever brings the most pain to the most people involved. And they know everyone loaded up on puts as soon as they saw that CPI data. So what would cause the most pain in this moment would just be to bounce SPY, just hard, ruin your puts. And then, oh, hey, let's get some calls up here, and then just ruin those too. So the market's been very predictably just destroying premiums on puts and calls, just giving no direction whatsoever. And this was the move. If you caught this move, that's huge. Otherwise, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the price action. I saw this was a nice rejection. I almost grabbed the put on this, but I know this wasn't enough movement for me. I don't go. I'm not a scalper. Scalpers get moves like this, and they make a lot. I'm not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. So I was just like, I had the good play. I knew CPI data was gonna be terrible. I told you guys. I've been telling y'all. It's gonna get worse. But just a very strange day. Just absolutely pain across the board for everyone involved because they know everyone grabbed puts this morning. Like. People saw this green and they're like, oh, puts. How many people do you think bought puts right here? We get a nice relief bounce off of the open, huge gap. off that big gap down. We get a relief bounce and a hard rejection. How many people do you think saw that rejection right there at 378 and were like, oh, puts, loaded up on puts, and just got absolutely taken to the mill, taken out back and shot in the back of the head like a freaking old the dog or something, dude. Like just destroyed. So yeah, it was a weird day, but hey, I made plus 270. You know, big win for me. I'll take it. If I could do that every day, I'd be thrilled with that. Um, and now tomorrow, so I'll look at the Nasdaq. I did grab an extra put. I averaged down. So Nasdaq was very strong today. Nasdaq was crazy. I mean, it gapped down and just went straight up from there. We come up to this level, break that level. So now Nasdaq is just right back into the consolidation zone. So I'm still thinking we're coming down from here, but it doesn't really matter what I think. You know, I'm just I don't know nothing. You know, I'm just sitting here and observing. I react to the market. I don't try to force it to go any direction. Um, but we just came right down to the point of control here on Nasdaq and just bounced right off of that. So now it just who knows where the market wants to go. I mean, really, no one has any fucking idea. Like, no one knows what's going to happen next. That now I know I hate to say this. This happens every time. It's like, all right, we got the CPI out of the way. Now we got to wait for the Fed. Oh, now what next? So now we're getting a lot of projections, a lot of talk of a 100 basis point rate hike from the Fed this meeting at the end of the month. Which that would be aggressive. Jerome hasn't even talked about 100% or 100 basis point hike. He has basically said no, 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 no. I don't think we'll have to do that. But we got the CPI data that's just abysmal. But I don't think Powell's that stupid. Personally, I think he knows that his hikes haven't affected the economy yet. They're going to slowly over the rest of this year. I also think he knows the price of oil. He looks at the price of oil, and that is a huge monster driver in inflation, which that has come down recently. So I think he knows that, but it's too soon to say whether or not oil will go back up or not, or if that's it. But I don't think Powell's dumb enough to just be like, all right, I have to just go 100, 125 basis point hike. But mark my words, if he does do that, it's gonna be we're going straight to 350 on SPY, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That is just gonna happen. Um, yeah. So I mean, you look at SPY, and it's just like the market just has no idea where it wants to go. Like literally no idea. Because we're in such a weird time. It's like what do we do now? We know inflation's bad, but are earnings going to be bad? Is the Fed going to get even more aggressive? It's just a bunch of unknowns, and now we're just like I don't know. The Bears are saying, no, we haven't gone down far enough, but then the Bulls are saying, hey, this is the bottom. We price in inflation, but I don't know. I'm of the opinion that we're not going to have terrible earnings. That we're actually going to have earnings that look just fine, and everyone's going to be like, "Hey, well, it doesn't look like we're doing a recession," and they're going to trap a bunch of bulls. They're going to drive SPY up to some absurd amount, or we're going to drive it straight up here to like 420 or something, and make everyone think the bottom's in, bottom's in. But I think that's just going to be a huge trap until September. I really do. There's just so much about inflation that the Fed has no control over whatsoever, and they just have to overcompensate on their end. Like they can't control the supply issues, they can't control the price of oil, they can't control the most of inflation. They can't control, and they have to kill the job market. They have to make it so there's not so many open jobs, so that drives wages down. Like they have to make the middle class poorer because the middle class got too much money over COVID. It's just crazy. It's like a dystopian hellscape. That now finally the middle class has some leverage in wages, and now it's like, that's a bad thing actually, because wages can't go up too much because that causes inflation. So, yeah, but this is it, the CME FedWatch tool. This is kind of just a group that gives like projections of the likelihood of certain rate hikes. Um, And right now they're giving a 86% chance of a 100 basis point hike. So that's 86.9% chance of that. That's kind of crazy. Oh my god, dude. I really don't know. I don't know if that's priced into the market. Apparently the CPI data was already priced in because SPY kind of just went sideways. So it just so much I don't know right now, and it's so frustrating. Like I'm seeing companies like AMD sitting at like 70. What's it at right now? Like $77. Like I'm seeing all these companies that are just so cheap right now, but I just can't bring myself to go in, dude. There's just so many headwinds. And this earnings is just going to clear everything up. This earnings season, these next few weeks through the end of July. So we have like mega tech earnings coming up in the end of July, like Amazon and Apple and all those. Those are coming up last week of July, and that's also going to be the week of the FOMC. So I mean, oh, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna give us the roadmap on where we go next. But hey, guys, we'll see what happens. I really just don't know where we're headed, and I think that's just the sentiment everywhere now. Everyone's just so confused. So with all that, I wish you all luck. Keep your heads up. Peace.